If your family vacation includes ziplining, the last thing you would envision is a trip to the morgue. I'm an aerial adventure park expert. I've investigated 100 adventure accidents. The memory of reviewing the first zipliner autopsy will be forever etched in my mind. As my master's degree in technical writing unfolds, I had collaborated with the American Adventure Park Systems, a zipline company that's the leading zipline builder in the U.S. My journey with this family-owned business began in 2009 at a Challenge Course Expo. This company stood above all others. Their impressive 30-foot long, 20-foot tall, curved big screen displayed the video you saw in the first of this presentation. They have 107 ziplines in one location and showcase their industry leadership. However, I got to know the team by exploring their training processes. It became clear that there was room for improvement. I was also concerned about a call I made with a zipline insurance broker, Robert Monahan from Hibbs Hallmark, who caught my attention when he said the problem with the rising zipline injury rates is training, rather than the braking-related accidents that I had witnessed, which dominated 70% of my investigation. This statement struck me, and I knew how poor training leads to crucial oversights, like neglecting to reset an emergency brake for a patron. I also knew most ziplines had arrival speeds that exceed 6 miles per hour, which requires an emergency brake, and they don't monitor arrival speeds. So reflecting on my research and the scholarly insights I learned, I saw the opportunities for training which could significantly reduce zipline braking risks. Then I began advocating for self-resetting emergency brakes and better communication in the standards. The scholarship of Woodcock 2014 emphasized the importance of communication between operators that could prevent slips and enhance safety, particularly in multi-operator ride scenarios. Motivated by this realization, I proactively collaborated with my client, developing 7 deliverables aimed at enhancing safety and promoting best practices in zipline operations. My deliverables included 6 video presentations or training units and an instructor guide. I quickly created the 6 units, starting with how to determine arrival speed. Then I applied the principles and moved on quickly through the other 5 sections. Then the instructor guide. One of the original goals was to discuss braking-related accidents. This goal influenced my decisions. But I won't delve into each of these goals at this moment, because I will discuss them near the conclusion of this presentation and add details zipping around my project goals. The first few lessons I discovered the hard way. While developing the first unit, how to determine zipline arrivals, the lessons focused on the importance of consistency and pattern. I also recognized the need for organizational similarities in my unit design. Initially, I failed to maintain consistency regarding font types, design patterns that influenced and infiltrated my presentations. As I sought guidance from Chalice, I referenced the 2017 book, Everyone's an Author, Lunsford et al. It delved into different delivery modes and the importance of balanced messages to provide significant information for decision-making. Additionally, insights emphasize the significance of repetition. Informed by my scholarly research, I abandoned the last 5 presentations or units in favor of adopting a balanced approach that delivered similarities. Consequently, I established patterns to guide the designs after my first presentation. Regarding the scholarship that influenced my approach, Lunsford et al. Was imperative for learning different modes of media in order to convey consistent and balanced messages. Phillips emphasized the effectiveness of presenting one message per side, a principle I endeavored to integrate into my presentation. So I employed dark, plain slides and repetition strategies to enforce the key messages and enhance retention, resolving the issues, and reduce the inconsistency. Then I focused on balanced fonts, text, audio, and video elements within my presentations. I was also guided by Chalice's recommendations, and I scaled back my approach. This involves discarding 5 presentations or units and adopting a new template designed specifically to improve learning. The scholarly work of Austin and Fishkoff was instrumental in shaping my new approach. Their insights into mental models and patterns not only deepened my understanding, the authors led me to create cohesive mental model patterns, so my delivery would be tailored for my trainees. They also helped me address the issues. Their research clarifies the concepts of risks of explaining how something works based on the world around them. I fixed this issue by creating the standardized template for my presentations with about 15 slides that could be arranged across the next 5 units. To enhance engagement and comprehension, I added the inclusion of pre- and post-test quizzes for an ongoing assessment throughout the trainings. Within each unit, I meticulously created a seamless delivery, recognizing the significance of shaping my audience perceptions. I minimized visual and textual confusion, often coherent when trying to explain complex or uncertain scenarios. After finishing the initial revisions, I applied the lessons learned to all the units. However, the process took longer than expected, so I scaled back my ambitions to stay within my planned project timeframe. As I scaled back my goals, the trainees would not learn about GPSs or my 360-degree briefing narratives. As I moved ahead, I incorporated patterns into the lessons and applied guidance to the next unit how the standards apply. As I crafted the risk warnings, I did this by integrating Toner's 2019 insights regarding plain language principles. He highlighted the efficacy for informational warnings found in recreation and tourism context. I also looked at the audience's background knowledge in it, as explained by Sauer in 2003, about the underlying risks when someone faces uncertainty. Her research probed into enhancing communication in hazardous environments. Sawyer drew from case studies across contexts and explored the challenges of accepting new technologies. The mathematics unit integrated Stanger and Hybert's 2004 article, helping students to grasp the underlying principles behind mathematical operations. I also used Wetzel's article for teaching middle schoolers. Wetzel's approach emphasized the concrete to representational to abstract sequence, focused on building foundational concepts and introducing variables that represent uncertainties in mathematical expression. Additionally, he provided the problem-solving experiences to develop algebraic thinking skills. Consequently, I employed all the acquired insights in developing the injury prevention unit. Then I condensed years of injury investigations into a concise 6 to 7 minute presentation. My aim was to effectively translate my knowledge through concrete representational sequences. Lastly, I applied all the lessons I had learned and created the instructor guide. I ensured consistent alignment with the principles outlined in the scholarship. The instructor guide also integrated experiential learning objectives, which drew from industry experts who wrote the book Aerial Adventure Environment, Steelman et al. 2020. I knew some of the authors personally and had the privilege of being trained by Dr. Kathy Harris. The book is a comprehensive guide for aerial adventure environments, which led me to suggest real-time quizzes before and after training, with active discussions that foster hands-on learning. As I completed my deliverables, I promptly emailed them to my internship supervisor for review. However, due to his jam-packed schedule filled with aerial adventure training and annual inspections, my client unfortunately did not have time to review them this semester. Let's revisit my goals. I effectively communicated the nuances of braking-related accidents. I provided instruction regarding the mathematical variables that influence arrival speed. I emphasized the correct selection of height variables in feet or meters that aligned with gravity constants. The scholarship helped me teach basic algebra concepts at an 8th grade level to improve the trainee's accuracy when solving mathematical equations. Prioritizing my deliverables, I eliminated explanations around GoPro inspections and GPS technology and directed my focus towards recent changes found in the ASTM F2959 standard for aerial adventure course. Lastly, the significance of ASTM's new braking requirements changed the original goals, particularly those pertaining to emergency brakes. and I focused my attention toward evaluating the pros and cons of zipline braking devices. This involved meticulously listing the benefits and adding information for each braking device. This was meant to guide my trainees in their decision-making processes. The braking changes issued by ASTM stirred the industry's attention, underlying the urgency. Despite the constraints of my defense, I wanted to stress the pivotal role professors played in reinforcing the efforts in this industry that helped me effectively articulate and express the concerns I was seeing as I addressed braking-related accidents, compelling the stakeholders to act. As I move on to another master's, I will remain committed to advocating for safety improvements, one rationale at a time. Thank you. I will now answer any questions you may have.